along with me. Breaking news, it's a thrill. Live chat, got time to kill. XP, we're breaking the mold. Special guests, stories untold. Unfiltered truth, no hidden clues. No suit and tie, it's all for you. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is scary. On Next News Network, we never vary. On YouTube, we're streaming live. On Rumble, the chat is alive. On X, we're trending high. And mainstream media's dead, and we are why. Millions of followers, hear us out. Seen all over the world, there's no doubt. We are the future, shining bright. Join the raw feed every night. Out of the newsroom, into the light. No suit and tie, it's feeling right. Unscripted moments, the host is scary. On Next News Network, we never vary.
Good evening, America. Welcome to the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, coming to you from just outside Chicago on this momentous Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Happy birthday to Martin and Colin today. What's up? It's day 65 of President Donald Trump's historic return to the White House. You know, every night we gather here to cut through the propaganda, the lies, and the distortions that the corporate media feeds the American people. But what makes this show different, truly different, is that we do it together, you and me. This is not just me talking at you for hours. It's a conversation between patriots who are fed up with the establishment's control over information. Right now, we are streaming live to millions worldwide across YouTube, Rumble, and X. And as you're watching, I need you to do something very important. Grab your phone and text the stream to 5 friends. That's exactly how we bypass the algorithm that's trying to suppress voices like ours. They don't want us to reach the people, but together we can overwhelm their system. Tonight's show is explosive. We've got bombshell developments on multiple fronts that the mainstream media is desperately trying to memory hole. First, we'll dive into how President Trump is unleashing a week of patriotic shockwaves from D.C., including declassification of Crossfire Hurricane. Yes, the death warrant has been signed. FBI files that the deep state never wanted you to see. Then we've uncovered a shocking Democrat hit-and-run case where a prominent Illinois politician struck a child with her car and fled the scene. We have the dash cam footage, and the cover-up is even worse. We'll also expose how the left's signal chat controversy is completely falling apart as Democrats' narrative, well, they collide with the truth, because their hypocrisy knows no bounds. And wait to see how the Democrats' infrastructure and activism are crumbling while Trump and Elon Musk score a massive victory against the deep state. Tesla's demand is through the roof despite the left's constant attacks. And finally, we'll cover Donald Trump's border security reset, his fight against radical judges who are trying to undermine American sovereignty. In between segments, we'll be reading your super chats and your Rumble rants. We'll be featuring them on the screen for the world to see. Your voices matter here. This is your show as much as it is mine. But I do need to be candid with you. This kind of independent journalism does not come free. The powers that be, they want to silence us, and they're well-funded and they're relentless. So to keep the show going, we need your support in the form of donations. You will find the links in the description below. Every dollar helps us fight back against the censorship regime. We've also launched our YouTube channel memberships with special perks at different levels. Support the channel and receive special acknowledgement in the chat room and unlock exclusive access to the Next News team in our exclusive private Discord chat room, as well as behind-the-scenes footage you'll never see anywhere else. And don't forget our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, where you can get exclusive Next News swag to show off your favorite news source. Remember, Super Chats get priority between segments because you are the backbone of this operation. America is at a crossroads, and information is the battlefield. So let's dive in and get to the truth because the raw feed starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. We've got Kenny in the house. We got Alice and Sure You and Larry and Mongoose. What's up? What's up? Who else? Duty to Rebel, Blessed Mess, 888, Stupid JL, Michael Jones, Pothead Kenny, Sammy B.A., Derek A. Martin. We got Campbell J7, Angie Warren. We got Candy in the house. We got Peter here. We got Lewis. We got Ali Renee. We got Maria. We've got Joe Oliveira. We got Cisco. We got Kyle. We got Zoila. We got Lisa. And we got Captain Tom in Guam. What's up, Captain Tom? If you're watching us from overseas, please let us know. I really like to acknowledge everybody who's watching America here and keeping tabs on the news. It's really important to us here. As much as the domestic viewers are, everyone overseas, it's just amazing to see how everybody from all over the world tunes into this show. And remember also to, when you're in the chat room, sound off from where you're watching from, what kind of device you're on. It helps us really understand just how big the Next News family is. I want you guys to feel right at home here with everybody in the chat room. So we got Carrie, we got Rusty Nuts, we got Sherry, we got Lisa, Michelle, Sammy, Timothy, Too Fast, Dawn, Kathy, Candace, Drew, Dennis, Dana, David, Hellcat Granny. What's up, Hellcat Granny in West Texas? DJ, G-Rod, Mountain Goddess, Dave. Service Channel is here. Chicago, Android, streaming. What up? We got Sammy. Anna has only one passport. We got Crypto King. We got Ollie and Craig, Martin and Joe and Leonard and the Rumble Bot, Scott in Ohio, Don't Tread on Me, Elaine, Candace, Justin, Viv B, Connie, Donna, Duty, Josie, Miss Heidi Ho. We got Carlos over on Rumble. And let's see, who else is here? Sandra in Washington, Alice, Heidi, Nathan, Paula, Nitro, Lise, Linda, Denise, Ronald, Nowhere Man, Mark, Yvonne, Deborah, Lennon, Veronica Green, Missy, Tom, Elizabeth. The gang's all in the house. All right, so we've got some news to break down for you. And let's begin the show. Look at what's happening in Washington right now. President Trump isn't just changing policies, he's detonating the entire corrupt system. Day 65 of his return to the White House, and the shockwaves are undeniable. He just signed an executive order declassifying all Crossfire Hurricane files. Think about that. The same FBI that spied on his campaign, manufactured evidence, and tried to overthrow his presidency, their dirty secrets are about to be exposed. CNN, yes, even CNN was forced to admit Americans believe we're on the right track through the roof. And of course, the Department of Education is facing abolishment. Federal land is being repurposed for American housing, and the deep state, well, they're in absolute panic mode. And as we step into 2025, one thing is clear: de-dollarization is accelerating. China and BRICS nations are terrified of President Trump, making them desperate to reduce their dependence on the U.S. dollar. Their secret weapon is gold. China buying it and deliberately underreporting purchases. Why? They recognize gold's global value and stability during economic chaos. It's tangible, reliable, and immune to manipulation. While nations scramble to secure their financial future with gold, so should you. Noble Gold Investments offers the protection you need in these uncertain times. Visit nextnewsgold.com and get 10 1-ounce silver American Eagle coins with a qualified discount. You can also call the number on the screen, 877-646-5347. Grab a pen and write it down. And when you call, tell them Gary Franchi sent you. Okay, thank you to Noble Gold Investments for their sponsorship. We couldn't do it without them. Now, do you guys see this from Jasmine Crockett? Yeah. She had this horrible take on Governor Abbott. Listen to this.
Move on, thank you so much, Morgan, because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes. Right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on. Cause
Yeah, move on. That was classless trash right there. Well, she's responding. This is what she had to say. This is how she's trying to gaslight us. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants in the communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear amongst the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said was, he was a hot mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Okay, sure. Trump never mocked anybody with disabilities. That's fake news that she's continuing to spread. But yeah, you can try to gaslight us, but we know exactly what you meant, because Governor Abbott's in a wheelchair and you call him Governor Hot Wheels. Absolutely disgusting. Here we have more from Jasmine Crockett, Loomer Unleashed, posting this. Jasmine Crockett just physically assaulted Laura Loomer's correspondent, Charles Downs, for asking about her participation. Listen.
Congresswoman Hello, Congresswoman.
Horse manure. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, well. Wait, Congresswoman Crockett.
But it sounds...
Congresswoman Crockett, you were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congresswoman, will you condone violence at the Tesla?
Wow. Yeah, she was caught on a call calling for violence. That's what the left does. We have more from the U.S. EPA, headed up by Zeldin, Secretary Zeldin. POTUS policies are helping to bring back American auto jobs and domestic manufacturing and revitalize the auto industry under he used to be Representative EPA Lee Zeldin. EPA will work with leaders to streamline and develop smart regulations to allow for American workers to lead the great comeback of the United States, protecting and bringing back American auto jobs. Hyundai, Honda, Stellantis, Nissan, Volkswagen, Rolls-Royce, all shifting production back into the United States because of tariffs. And we have this: President Trump signing an executive order on election integrity that includes the following provisions. Let's check this out. Requires documentary government-issued proof of U.S. citizenship on voter registration forms, conditions federal election-related funds on states complying with the integrity measures set forth by federal law, directs the updating of the voluntary voting system guidelines 2.0 and security standards for voting equipment, which includes requiring a voter verifiable paper ballot record and not using ballots in which the counted vote is contained within the barcode or QR code. Directs the Attorney General to enter into information sharing agreements with state elected officials to identify cases of election fraud or other election law violations. Takes appropriate action against states that count ballots received after Election Day in federal election. Revokes Biden Executive Order 14019, which turned federal agencies into Democrat voter turnout centers. Here's the moment.
On the federal voting. Lastly, sir, we have an executive order for your attention on the very important subject of election integrity. We believe that this executive order is the farthest reaching executive action taken in the history of the Republic to secure our elections. Among numerous other aspects of this executive order, this is going to cut down on illegal immigrants on the voter rolls, ensure that the Department of Homeland Security and the data that they have available is being fully weaponized to ensure that illegal immigrants aren't voting. This will include a citizenship question on the federal voting form for the first time. This executive order instructs the EAC to cut federal funding to states that don't take reasonable steps to secure their election. This calls on the Department of Justice to vigorously prosecute election crimes, particularly in states that we don't believe are in compliance with federal law around election integrity. I could go on and on for a while, sir, but the compliance with National Election Day rules, cracking down and investigating and prosecuting foreign interference in our elections, revoking President Biden's Executive Order 14019, which essentially weaponized government to corrupt and pollute our election process. There's a lot in here, but we believe that these are very important steps that we need to be taking as an administration at your direction to ensure that our elections are as secure as they possibly can be.
Okay, you all understand that? Yes. Election fraud, you've heard the term. We'll end it hopefully. At least this will go a long way toward ending it. There are other steps that we will be taking in the coming weeks, and we think we'll be able to end up getting fair elections. Perhaps some people think I shouldn't be complaining because we won in a landslide, but we got to straighten out our election. This country is so sick because of the election, the fake elections and the bad elections, and we're going to straighten it out one way or the other. And it's an honor to sign this one. To sign all of them, but to sign this one is a great honor.
Gotta love the sound of that Sharpie hitting that paper. That's the sound of America raging back, my friends. Oh, yes, it is coming back. We've got more. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz had this to say about journalists in the city who've made big names for themselves making up lies.
President, whether yes, Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves making up lies about this president, whether it's the Russia hoax or making up lies about Gold Star families. And this one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room. But I'll tell you what, the world owes President Trump a favor. Under Biden, global shipping was shut down. Pinprick attacks, months between them, our destroyers being fired upon dozens of times. President Trump took decisive action with his national security team, took out the head missileer, knocked out missiles, knocked out headquarters, knocked out communication sites. And for once, as we hear, as you will all hear from every one of our allies, thank God for American leadership again. Thank God for American strength. You're welcome, world. We had a national security team that was coordinating these efforts. As Director Radcliffe testified today, his first day on the job, he was introduced to this app on his government systems at the CIA and at the State Department and otherwise. So, look, this journalist, Mr. President, wants the world talking about more hoaxes and this kind of nonsense rather than the freedom that you're enabling. And a key part of our sovereignty is open sea lanes and knocking the crap out of terrorists, which is exactly what your team and Pete Hegseth, a good friend and fellow veteran, is leading the charge on, and it's an honor to be part of it. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's keep knocking out the fake news. That's what we do here at the Next News Network. Here we have more. President Trump talking about a newscast. Let's listen to this.
Been great on the military, but I watched a certain newscast over the weekend, and a congressman, Democrat congressman, said, well, Trump's done a lot. I agree. He's been great on the border. He's been great on the military, but, you know, he hasn't brought prices down. That's false. Gasoline's way down. Eggs are way down. Groceries are down very substantially, but down. Almost everything's down. Now, I'd like to see interest rates come down a little bit. And you're going to see billions of dollars, even trillions of dollars coming into our country very soon in the form of tariffs, because we were abused by presidents that, frankly, in all fairness, it wasn't their expertise, but they had no idea what they were doing. I watched it.
Imagine all those. He said trillions with a T. Trillions of dollars flooding into this country from the soon-to-be created External Revenue Service. I'm here for it, baby. What's this? Charlie Kirk. You are the reason we should abolish the Department of Education. Oh, this should be good.
Misinformation. You are why we should eliminate the Department of Education. Hold on.
Assertions
got it. So,
as reality.
So, last question. Hold on. So, you would say I'm a misinformation machine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. You're a teacher. Yes. What is a woman?
What is a woman? Oh, buddy. All right. So, we define gender as a set of preferences that you have. Gender is a set of preferences we have. Woman is a social construct that we've agreed upon. Typically, we imagine womanhood as makeup or whatever. There is a difference between between the word woman and being a biological female. Woman is a social construct that we use. Listen for a second. I'm telling you what it means. Woman is a social construct. We agree on these set of preferences. If I tell you that I'm a man, it's because I want you to know that I like these set of preferences. If I tell you I'm a woman, it's because I want you to know that I agree with these set of preferences.
Can men give birth?
Can men or can males? Because males can't. Listen for a second. If you listen to your bio professors, you would understand there's a difference between biology and what we think
So
about.
I want to thank you for proving a great point.
What?
You are why we should eliminate the Department of Education. Thank you very much. You are why we should eliminate.
You got smoked there. Let's keep going. We got more goodies for you. Rapid Response 47. More investment, more jobs, more money in American pockets. Whitehouse.gov. U.S. investment pledges UAE $1.4 trillion in new investments from UAE. Saudi Arabia, $600 billion. Hyundai, $20 billion. Apple, $500 billion. NVIDIA, over $100 billion. SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, $100 billion. Another $100 billion from Taiwan Semiconductors. Johnson & Johnson's $55 billion. CMA, CGM Group, $20 billion. EU Lilly, $27 billion. Merck, $1 billion. GE Aerospace, $1 billion. Holy cow, man. Dude, talk about money flooding back into this country. Where was Joe Biden? Oh, yeah, he was getting his applesauce. And we have more. Secretary Burgum on better utilizing federal land. What?
Acres of subsurface. In many parts of the law, there's huge restrictions on the sale of public lands. But here we are. We're sitting on top of 500 million acres of surface, 700 million acres of subsurface, and 2.5 billion of offshore acres just inside interior. You throw in the U.S. Forest Service, you got a couple 100 million more acres of surface land. And when we in these public land states in the West, places like Nevada, over 80% of the land in Nevada is owned by the federal government. Utah, it's over 60%. These are fast-growing urban areas, and we might have Bureau of Land Management land that abuts right up against communities that are restricted for growth. So in our administration already, we've completed a land swap with Utah, 200,000 acres of federal for about 188 of state. This is a equal value going back and forth, but it closed out a checkerboard that each of us had, the state and the federal. The state is Utah is in a better position to utilize that, whether it's for resource development or whether it's for adding to the ability to lower the cost of housing in these fast-growing areas. And in southern Utah, where they're really constrained, there's actually a specific law that goes back to when Harry Reid was in Senate Majority Leader called the Southern Nevada Lands Act, which specifically instructs the U.S. government to work with selling land around Clark County to help expand that. But we own hundreds of thousands of acres that are within 1 to 3 miles of U.S. urban areas that would be better off used for urban development and for lowering housing prices than they would be for resource development.
Wow. Imagine that, repurposing all that land. Why does the government own so much damn land in the first place? Here we have the press secretary discussing tariffs.
Around the world, tariffs work, and President Trump is proving that every single day when new companies from around the world are pledging to invest billions of dollars in the United States of America and our workforce. Today, we had Hyundai announcing $20 billion in American investment, $5 billion in the great state of Louisiana to build a steel plant. Why? Because President Trump has implemented a 25% tariff on steel. And he has told companies around the world that America is open for business. And you won't face any tariffs if you bring your production to the United States. You will have low taxes, low energy costs, and you will have the best workforce in the world. You will hire American workers. And so every single one of these investments, the American people need to understand this is more money coming into your community. This is your hometown where you grew up that has been shuttered because globalists have sold you out, reviving again. factories where your neighbors are having good paying jobs, where more money is going back into your pockets. And every time you go to the store to purchase a product, you're no longer seeing made in China on the back. You are seeing made in America on the back. That's President Trump's vision with these tariffs. And every day he is proving that they work, and he is making America wealthy again.
Made in America, as it should be. Let's go. Here is the president signing an executive order to push the U.S. Treasury to modernize its payment system in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. Let's listen.
Electronic transfer payment. We have an executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury, wanted, Scott, and so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We could let somebody else, whoever's next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
We have an executive order for your attention.
There's the Sharpie of power. With every stroke of the pen, America gets greater and greater. Okay, this is the moment that you have been waiting for on Crossfire Hurricane.
Files relating. Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see. But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified. Is that correct? Would you say all declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, this we'll put everything in the public eye.
Is anybody going to look? What about you? You going to look? And frankly, the FBI should be ashamed of themselves, and so should the Department of Justice, and so should Biden. Okay.
Next, sir.
And I should add, so should the media, because they ran with that hoax. We've got more. Check this out. I just got the email from the White House about this. Donald Trump pardoning Devin Archer, Hunter Biden's former business partner turned whistleblower who was unjustly prosecuted by the Biden administration.
Investigation. But first, we have a pardon for Devin Archer. Devin Archer was a former business partner of the Biden family. He's was prosecuted relating to a fraud investigation, but notably the tone and tenor of that prosecution changed dramatically after he began to cooperate with congressional investigators and serve as a witness against Hunter Biden and the Biden family. We believe that was an injustice, and therefore we're asking you to pardon him.
And many people have asked me to do this. I think he was treated very unfairly. And I looked at the records, studied the records, and he was a victim of a crime, as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to undo that. All right. That's Devin Archer. Congratulations, Devin.
First, we have a pardon for...
You know, every day is like Christmas with this administration, and you never really know what kind of package is going to be underneath the Christmas tree every morning. But it's just beautiful to witness. Here we have more on the education system's $1 trillion disaster. Holy cow. Let's check out what Jesse Waters is talking about.
Don't you feel that the Department of Education has been failing Americans?
No, I don't think so.
Who was the first president of the United States?
Was it Bush?
What?
George Washington.
Who was the second president?
I don't know.
Theodore Roosevelt.
No, babe. That was like 150 years later.
All I know is George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Mr. Donald J. Trump.
And my pronouns are kiss my ass.
Name the 3 branches of government.
Oh my gosh. Judicial.
Hold on.
The president. We have Congress. And Kylie, what's the third?
Legislative, executive. I don't know the third one.
Do you want to put our heads together?
Yeah.
I got it. What do you got?
I don't got anything.
That didn't work.
Yeah, that wasn't some creepy move on that girl, was it? God.
How many Supreme Court justices do we have?
2.
11. 21.
50. 46.
8? No. 9?
11. No. Name some of the justices.
Genuinely, I don't know.
Judge
Mintz.
Kamala Harris?
Amy
Schumer.
Justice Brett
Favre.
Bear. Brett Bear.
Not sure how to take that.
Who is the Speaker of the House?
Speaker of the House?
I don't know. Brain ain't thinking. I'm on the beach.
Anyone home?
No.
I think you're thinking of someone and you don't want to tell us.
I love her. She's great. She's very young. She's like the youngest
younger.
Speaker of the House, right?
I think you're talking about Caroline Leavitt.
Yes.
His last name is Johnson.
Magic Johnson! Magic Johnson!
That was somebody telling you something that wasn't true.
Oh, yeah. That's the failure of our education system right there. You saw it. On the beach, spring breakers, clueless about our country. God save this nation. But that's what we're here for, to educate everybody. And here's CNN. They had to admit this today.
Compare it to some historical. Let's take a look at the percentage of the country who say that we're on the right track. It's actually a very high percentage when you compare it to some historical numbers. What are we talking about? According to Marist, 45% say that we're on the right track. That's the second highest that Marist has measured since 2009. How about NBC News? 44%. That's the highest since 2004. Wow. The bottom line is the percentage of Americans who say we're on the right track is through the roof. And if you were to compare it to when presidents have historically been reelected, of course, Trump is not constitutionally eligible to run for re-election, but I think it sort of puts it in perspective. 42% of the country says the country is on the right track when the incumbent party is re-elected. And also keep in mind, back when Kamala Harris lost and the Democrats were turned out of power, only about 27 to 28% of the country said the country was on the right track. The bottom line is right now, a much higher percentage of the country says we're on the right track. Let's take a look at the percentage of the country.
Wow. Yeah, CNN forced to admit that fact. I'm sure all their viewers, all 3 of them, are freaking out right now. Let's keep going. President Trump saying, as far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, you're not happy here, you can leave.
And that if you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. And that's what I say all the time. That's what I said in a tweet, which I guess some people think is controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way. A lot of people love it. But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Nice. Love it. Here are the Osbournes talking about Trump.
But it pains me to actually say this, but every interaction I've ever had with Donald Trump, he's been nothing but a gentleman and nice to me.
When I did the Apprentice with him, he was very supportive of you both because you were both working on your sobriety, and he kept saying, well done, about the pair of you.
So you've interviewed.
Sorry, darling?
You have interviewed.
Mum did The Apprentice.
For a month.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I must say that Melania was lovely.
When I met him at that Elton John thing, he looked at me and he went, Ozzy, I was amazed that he knew my name, who I was.
Dad, you always say this, but you forget that you're literally the world's most famous rock star.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I think you'll find that you'd be hard pressed to find a corner of the earth that doesn't know who you are. I mean, you could go anywhere. I mean, even the fun.
Okay, great. The Osbournes reflecting on, but she said, it pains me to say this. Here's Piers Morgan, uncensored. You, just like Rosie O'Donnell, have Trump derangement syndrome. Vinny Jersey Shore Oshana brings some visual props to Piers Morgan's latest debate. What's going on?
For what they've done to you. You, just like Rosie O'Donnell, have Trump derangement syndrome. And I want to show you something, Piers.
No,
I think, Brian,
you're an idiot.
Excuse me. Dude, you wouldn't say that shit in my face, so shut up. Number one. Number two, I think
Jersey
people like
Shore.
you and Rosie O'Donnell should sue mainstream media for what they've done to you. And Piers, I brought some photos of pre-Trump and post-Trump. Look at this. This is Rosie O'Donnell before Trump, right? Nice, good. Look what happens, Piers, with Trump derangement syndrome, all right? Rachel Maddow. Look at how hot Rachel Maddow was. And then look, Trump derangement syndrome. She looks like Stephen Colbert. And then look, Kathy Griffin, someone that I might have hooked up with if I was drunk. They turned her into Carrot Top, okay? That's what it does to you people, okay? You guys have lost your freaking mind. Oh, excuse me, I'm not finished. And Piers, in that interview, she's like, I can't believe sexual assault, because when Conor McGregor came there, she supported Bill Clinton. How many sexual assault rape allegations? Biden the same thing. Biden sniffing kids live on camera all the time. His freaking daughter writes in her diary that her father showered with her at inappropriate ages. She left to freaking Ireland. Do you know what's happening in Ireland, Rosie? Freedom of speech, migration, all the freaking rise in crime. It's unbelievable. And here's my thing, Piers. There's people waiting in line and fighting and dying to come to this country. She wants to leave. To hell with her. Let her give up her spot for somebody else. I have family members that are waiting to come here, Piers. Let them come in, and to hell with her.
Yeah, I just want to answer to what Jersey Shore just said real quickly here.
Oh,
First of all, the guy who you support is a liable.
You should be a comedian.
Excuse me, I'm talking now, and I didn't bring pictures with me. I didn't bring pictures with me, to show to everybody.
Right.
So if I can just respond to what you just said, you didn't want me to interrupt you.
You see me in public.
You didn't
see me in public.
Can I respond now without being interrupted?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I respond now? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So first of all, you want to talk about Biden's. You want to talk about guys and Biden sniffing kids and sniffing children, and you want to make those type of correlations. The guy who you support is a liable sexual abuser who has 25 women that have accused him of rape or sexual assault. So spare me with your right-wing talking points and your stupid pictures that you brought to the Piers Morgan show. Nobody cares, Jersey Shore.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
Jersey Shore's not working. Jersey Shore doesn't work. You're a hack. You suck. Look at your freaking hat.
We all just
You're wearing a hat. What does your hair look like under there?
Oh, man. Dude, that was brutal. We're not done yet, though. We have this. This is Medal of Honor Day at the White House. President Trump and Vice President Vance greeting Medal of Honor recipients, recognizing their bravery.
But I appreciate you being here. We'll do it again. I like to do it. I feel good. I feel brave among you people. You have more bravery than anybody. Look how young some of these guys are.
You start going down there.
But I appreciate you being.
That's beautiful. We got more. Let's keep going. We have, is this another extended version of that clip?
Being here, but I appreciate you being here. We'll do it again. I like to do it. I feel good. I feel brave among you people.
Certainly feel brave. I think we all feel brave with President Trump now at the helm of this country again. Every single time that Sharpie hits the paper, baby. But the evidence is overwhelming. Trump's America First agenda isn't just working, it's transforming the nation at lightning speed. Secretary Burgum's plan to convert federal land into affordable housing is revolutionary. Meanwhile, Trump modernized treasury systems to eliminate waste and fraud. Hyundai pledging $20 billion in American manufacturing. Medal of Honor recipients honored with the dignity they deserve. This is what real leadership looks like, and it's driving the left completely insane. So here is the question I have for you. If Trump accomplished all this in just 65 days, what's stopping us from becoming the most prosperous nation in history? Drop a comment below. And make sure you get our exclusive Next News gear. It's linked down below. It's shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right, let's check in. I think I saw some super chats come through. Super chat. Tom B, 420. What's up? Dropping $5. Thanks. Gary N3, Army for Life. Foxhole Gang has your back. What up? Thank you. Ronnie Lee dropping $10 in the jar. Thank you, Ronnie Lee. We are now at $15. No new members yet, but maybe those numbers will grow. Let's keep going. What, Brian? Brian wants me to keep on talking. Okay, I'm going to keep on talking, because Brian wants me to keep on talking. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. As we continue, to the chat. Show us your car, Gary. What car? This one here. The DeLorean time machine. You want to see this? Yeah. Here it is. Stainless steel beauty, taking us back to the future. There you go. There's the car. Let me just cue this piece up here. What?
Oh, hurry. Oh,
what? Hang on. Let me just cue up this piece. One moment as I get it ready. Okay. Oh, look at that. We got some stuff that just came in. Pamela G was gifted a member from Craig. What's up? Thank you, Craig, and welcome, Pamela. And Tom B 420 dropping another $5. What's up, Tom B? He's double dipping tonight. Let's get into this. This is a big story, folks. 1 minute here. Okay. The story I'm about to tell you exposes everything wrong with our two-tier justice system. A prominent Democrat politician in Illinois, Will County board member Jackie Trinere, struck a child in a crosswalk with her vehicle and fled the scene. This is not speculation. This is not partisan rhetoric. This is documented fact. Police dash cam footage captured the aftermath. Multiple eyewitnesses confirmed the child had the right of way. And of course, the police report tells the whole story. But instead of facing felony hit and run charges like any ordinary American would, she received a simple ticket for failure to yield. The entire Democrat machine has now been activated to protect her. Illinois political insiders are scrambling to bury the story in the mainstream media, complete radio silence. So ask yourself, why? And, you know, the shocking hit and run that we're discussing reminds us how quickly life can change. One moment, a child riding their bike, the next, they're injured by a reckless driver. It makes you think about aging and health in a whole new light. That's why I've been focusing on skin health with this amazing multi-collagen formula. Unlike regular collagen, this uses 5 key types from 4 different sources, delivering real anti-aging results with easily absorbable hydrolyzed peptides. No artificial ingredients or harmful additives. It's transformed my skin, helping me feel and look younger. So take control of your appearance today with 51% off at healthwithgary.com. You'll find a link down below. Okay, this story is going mega viral right now. Gateway Pundit picked it up. Slightly offensive. Elijah Schaefer picked it up. He just published this report. Check this out.
My name is Elijah Schaefer, and this is a special report on the Weekend Review. Usually we cover the top 5 stories, but today the Next News Network, Gary Franchi, released a shocking new report that we just picked up at slightlyoffensive.com. You've got to check this out. Calls for justice after a local Democrat hits a child, leaves the scene with a damaged car. Outrage erupts after Illinois politician hits a child on a bike and then leaves the scene without arrest. Ooh, this is not good. It is a face of hate. A Will County board member and Democratic leader struck a child riding a bicycle in a crosswalk and drove off. Of course, Bolingbrook police reported, but no arrest has been made despite visible damage to her car. The incident, occurring March 11th of 2025, has ignited local fury and calls for accountability as details emerge from a police crash report. Jackie Trenier, if that's how you pronounce it, also the DuPage Township administrator, was behind the wheel at 7:50 a.m. at the intersection of Route 53 and Rockhurst Drive when the collision happened. That being said, according to the Bolingbrook Police Department report cited by Edgar County watchdogs, Trenier told officers she was stopped at a red light. When she left turn arrow turned green, she said that she saw the child fall off his bike as she began her turn, but wasn't sure if she hit him. Trenier stopped briefly, checked on the boy, then left the scene. She reported the incident later that morning to the police station, as you can see here, originally reported directly by the nextnewsnetwork.com.
Okay, so let's dig a little bit deeper here. Thank you, Elijah, for covering that. Make sure you check out Slightly Offensive, Gateway Pundit. We're big supporters of their work. Okay, so I got a phone call this morning. A tip came in, and they're like, Gary, you need to look into this. So that's what we do here at the Next News Network. So I'm going to go through the thread. This thread is going mega viral right now. It has over 848,000 views, 7,653 reposts, 14,500 likes, 1,100 bookmarks. It is going viral. So she slammed into a child with her car and fleeing the scene. We've got the dash cam footage. I'm going to show it to you in just a second here. So here's the woman in question. Jackie Trenier, Democrat heavyweight and Will County board member, plowing into a young boy riding his bike in Bolingbrook. Witnesses horrified. She left the scene without calling 911. Political privilege run amok again. This cannot stand. Now, witnesses confirmed that the child was in the crosswalk signal. Jackie Trenier set at a red light, then accelerated, striking the boy. Dashcam and eyewitness accounts tell the true story of what was going through her head to just drive off. It's time for demanding answers. Here's the dashcam video that has just been released. It shows the footage moments immediately after the hit and run. Officers arriving at the scene, capturing the chaos and the confusion. Public deserving transparency. Check this out here. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Here's the moment. Okay. He's coming up on the scene. He's hauling too, man. I mean, lights and sirens, everything going. He's flying. Now he's going to pass this big building, this big white building, and he is going to turn right to the scene of the crime where this Democrat just hits a kid and leaves. Who does that? And this is an elected official we're talking about here. Okay, watch. Here we go.
Did you guys get run over? Yeah? Where's the vehicle? Where's the vehicle? Where's the car? What car hit you? Where's it at? Do you know? Where's it at? Do you know?
I got no idea.
You heard that. The child says, I have no idea where the car is. Where's the car? The police officers, where's the car? You get hit by a car, where is it? She freaking drove off. Dude.
I saw it in the corner of my eye. Yeah, where the car.
Where's you don't know where the car went?
No.
But it hit you right here? Or where did it hit you? Down the road that way?
Like right there.
Where was the car traveling? I'm at this way or that's not the way? Okay, but you didn't see where it went?
Did you see where it went? Nope. No idea. Well, we know where it went. Witness Jackie Trineri briefly exited her car, approached the injured child, then drove away. A clear violation of Illinois law. An everyday citizen would have been cuffed immediately, but guess what? Democrats play by their own rules, sickening double standards. Here she is promoting EVs. Minutes later, we find out this. She casually rolls into the Bolingbrook Police Department, feigns ignorance. I'm unsure if I hit a child. Cops saw large dents and scratches on her hood, covering her tracks, or just brazen lies. How dumb do they think we are? It's time to wake up, America. Here's a selfie I found on her Facebook page in front of the Bolingbrook Police Department. Now, this wasn't the same day, but of course, here she is. And now she's got to walk into the same place and pretend like nothing happened. Okay, the child, thankfully, was not injured, seriously, but his bike chain was shattered by impact, and she was only ticketed for failure to yield no arrest, no criminal charges. Political elites dodge accountability once again. Justice is a joke in Illinois Democrat circles. And this is not a photograph of the boy. This is a stock photo to drive the point home of exactly what we're experiencing here. Now, witnesses immediately called the police. Multiple accounts confirmed that she stopped, saw the child, and then fled eastbound on Lily Cash Lane. Clear-cut hit-and-run felony? Yes, but she walks free. Political protection machine activated. Where's the outrage? This is the intersection where it happened. Dashcam video number 2 was released. Heart-wrenching scenes of paramedics prepping the injured child for ambulance transport after Democrat leaders' reckless act. Watch and share. Let's end the cover-ups. Our kids deserve better from those sworn to lead us. Let's check this one out. So I think this is the second responding officer. I mean, the scene you saw, like, there was one cop, a second cop pulls up. There's that big white building again. This guy's flying. All because this person decided to hit a child and leave the scene. Let's get to the point. Here it is. Okay, this is when they pull up on it.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie for Window Nation. Don't miss your chance to take advantage of the buy 2 get 2 free and pay nothing till 2027. The offer ends soon, only at Window Nation.
You hear the radio from the police.
866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. Welcome back to Captain J. Hood on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago. This place sucks. It sucks. I'm just a fan. I'm not a football.
There's the fire department showing up. Fire department arriving on the scene. They blurred out the victims here, as you can see. A large crowd gathered around, making sure the child's okay. Multiple police on the scene. And this goes on for another 16 minutes. Unbelievable. Now, this is where it gets totally crazy. Okay, she's a Will County Democrat. She's a leader there. DuPage administrator. Vocal advocate for Bolingbrook pride and, ironically, child abuse prevention. Hits an innocent kid, escaping accountability. Imagine roles reversed. Would you get away with this? It's a sick joke on all of us. Look at this video. This was posted to her Facebook.
Party. Hi, I'm Jackie Trenier, candidate for mayor with the Bolingbrook United Party. It's April, and it's Child Abuse Prevention Month. Let's each of us do all that we can to help prevent child abuse here in our community. And remember, it takes a village. Hi, I'm Jackie.
It takes a village, she says. Oh my goodness. Isn't that just bizarre? Okay, we got more. Oh, here's her in Pritzker. Yeah, of course. This is not just a traffic violation, it's criminal negligence. She left an injured child in the street. That's felony hit and run under Illinois law. Yet Democrat cronies bury the truth, shielding their own from justice. It's utterly disgraceful. Insiders report that Bolingbrook Mayor Mary Basta and County Executive Jennifer Barentino-Tarrant actively covering it up. Jackie Trenier's crime. The fix is in. Illinois Democrats circling the wagons while your kids remain vulnerable. And these are the two other administrators, in the mayor and another administrator in Bolingbrook. This happened 2 weeks ago. Who heard about it? Nobody. Mainstream media is silent, but the Edgar County Watchdogs group nearly had to sue to get the truth. These are the guys that found the story. They dug it up, and now it is going mega viral nationwide. Okay? Do you smell corruption and cover-up? We certainly do. Illinois Democrat officials, like Trenier, preach about protecting the vulnerable, yet run down innocent children without consequence. Hypocrisy at peak levels. They care about optics, not lives. Stop trusting these self-serving elites who abandon your kids. She allegedly filed a false police report, allegedly lied to cops, claimed the child just fell off the bike, damaged her vehicle proves otherwise, felony stacked high, but she gets a pass. Two-tier justice exposed yet again. Illinois Democrats betray all of us. The public demands answers. She's gone silent, and it speaks volumes. Are the Democrat elite in Illinois truly untouchable? How many children must suffer before corrupt politicians face real justice? We're sick of their dangerous games. Here she is, dressed up as Rosie the Riveter. Yeah, I wonder what kind of message she's trying to portray here, again, from her Facebook. Now, the family is not speaking. Democrats are stonewalling. They protect their own. What if your child was next? Democrats don't care about justice, only power. Illinois families deserve accountability. Here she is, so proud to be campaigning for Biden and Harris. Yeah. A whistleblower reveals now Democrats are panicked. Insiders scrambling to silence the story. National media has been tipped off. Fox News has been alerted. People are tagging Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel. I have it from my inside source that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel have been personally notified of this case. So they're not going to hide. This is a big deal, folks. The momentum is building. They can't hide it anymore. Now, on the Illinois Review article that was published, I was told 78,000 views overnight. And that's because people are demanding. They're demanding justice for this child. Public outrage is exploding. Will the mainstream media break their silence? We need national exposure on Democrat cover-ups, so share this everywhere. Illinois voters are sickened by repeated Democrat abuses, crime, corruption, cover-ups. Jackie Trenier epitomizes entitled, reckless politicians endangering your families. When will enough be enough? Voters must hold these elite accountable. Yes, we're contacting the FBI. Democrats involved in criminal cover-up must face federal investigation. Illinois corruption machine protecting her now exposed. This is not politics. It's public safety. Protect your kids and demand accountability. And we have more. So I expanded. We did receive the police report. The officer was dispatched at 8:15 a.m. Driver fled the scene, hitting the child on the bike at Lindsay and Lily Cache Lane. Lily Cache, excuse me. Witnesses confirm victim crossing legally. Paramedics refused by shaken child despite broken chain on the bike. It's all on the record. Here is the official report from the police department. And the police were confronted. They confronted her at the station, initially claiming uncertainty. She confessed seeing the child fall, but didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to do. You see a child fall in an intersection, your car's right there, and you don't know what to do. So she left the scene. Think about that for a moment. She admitted uncertainty but drove off, abandoning an injured child. This is the police officer's official narrative from the police report. If you want to read it, just go to our X account. You can see it. You can zoom in. It's all right there. Officers examined her car at the station, discovered clear half-circle scratch, dent in hood consistent with bicycle collision. Fingerprints and dust revealed frantic attempts to wipe evidence. Her vehicle damage directly contradicts her unsure claim. Oh, and here's the car. We got the photo evidence here. It's now been revealed. Look closely, fresh dent and scratch, perfectly matching a bicycle impact. Her Chevy tells the truth. She refuses to. Will Colony voters, is this the leadership you trust with your children's safety? It's time to demand actual justice. There it is. Yeah. Frantically trying to remove the fingerprints. Let's be clear. The damage wasn't there pre-incident. Police confirm this. Witnesses are unanimous. She hit the child and left. Democrat officials are covering up, refusing arrest. It's corruption, neglect, and clear disregard for the law. FBI must investigate immediately. The story is not over. We're going to follow every twist and revelation. Will Democrat privilege protect her, or will truth prevail? Demand answers, demand justice, and follow us. And stay tuned as we uncover every layer of this explosive scandal. Oh, there she is with Pritzker again. And there are hundreds of comments on this. Wait till you see some of these. Here we have died suddenly. Criminals, heartless criminals. These Democrats are all like this. Jackie, that was a mistake. By the time they finish dragging you through court, you'll be convicted felon. You will be broke. It's just a shame someone had to be injured to put your ass away. Here's another one. And why isn't she in jail right now? Another one. I bet a paycheck she'd been drinking, and that's why she fled the scene. No privacy says, I'm glad the young boy's okay, then tagging the FBI director and the Attorney General, Pambandi and Kash Patel. Please step in and provide justice. This is an abomination. Another one saying, arrest her. She deserves to be charged. Vince Moretz did this in Malcopen County some years back and didn't even get a DUI, if I recall correctly, another one says. And then just because the child didn't appear hurt doesn't mean it won't cause problems in the future. Oh, my goodness. Time for the parents to sue the holy hell out of this woman. People are freaking pissed. She needs to be held accountable. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. People are absolutely furious. So, look at this. I guess Illinois is a sanctuary state for criminal officials, too. So this story is far from over. So the details keep getting worse. She allegedly files a false police report claiming the child just fell off his bike, contradicted by the damage to her vehicle. The Democrat establishment, including the mayor and county executive, well, they're reportedly orchestrating a cover-up, stonewalling the press and the public. And of course, now we know the FBI and the Attorney General have been contacted because this corruption must end. So here's the uncomfortable question that America must confront. And you can drop a comment on this. If a Democrat politician can hit a child with her car, flee the scene, and face no consequences, do we truly have equal justice under the law? Comment below. And show your support for transparency with your Next News gear. You'll find a link down below, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Wow. Isn't that sick? Isn't that just sick? Wow. Uh-oh, there's a super chat war brewing. Oh boy, what are you doing? Okay, Viv B gifted 5 memberships. Wow. We got Stale Hansen, News Insight. And Mountain Goddess just dropped $10, initiating a super chat war. Who's going to rise to the top on this one? A man, Ryan, receiving a membership. Mr. Bear receiving one. Samantha Watts. Jennifer dropping $50. Boom. She is on the leaderboard tonight. I love your broadcast, Gary. Thank you. And Baylor Whiskey. YouTube won't let me write in a super chat. So Rumble rant it is. Gare gets more of it now. Love the intro song and congrats on the White House gig. Thank you. You had to go over to Rumble. Isn't that wild? Well, thank you for that. Much appreciated, everybody. So Jennifer is on the top of the leaderboard right now. We got more news for you tonight. Let's keep going. We're going to dig into this Signal scandal that is happening right now. I want to make sure we got all of our clips in order. Okay. Let's go. And Sharon Johnson just dropped $2. Thank you, Sharon. Your 5th super chat on a live stream. What up? The latest manufactured outrage from the political establishment just spectacularly imploded. For days, we've been subjected to breathless headlines about the Trump administration officials using a Signal messaging app. Democrats and their media allies portrayed this as some catastrophic national security breach. But in congressional testimony, the narrative completely fell apart. CIA Director and DNI Tulsi Gabbard both confirmed under oath that zero classified information was shared on Signal. None. Zero. Not one byte. And here's what they're not telling you. Signal was preloaded on government devices during Biden's administration with explicit authorization for official use. The entire scandal was engineered to distract from Trump's mounting success and the real border crisis. It's propaganda, plain and simple. While politicians squabble over Signal chats and hidden communications, nearly half of American adults struggle with a real problem that they can't hide: high blood pressure. The silent killer affects millions, yet 1 in 4 has it under control. Like exposed government communications, your heart health should never be compromised. That's why I use this incredible triple action formula with white mulberry leaf, cinnamon bark powder to help manage blood pressure, cholesterol, and weight naturally. It's clinically proven to regulate blood pressure, balance blood sugar, and improve cholesterol levels. So don't wait for a health crisis. Take action now at boostwithgary.com and get 40% off today. You'll find it linked below. Okay, so this is the moment that Pete Hegseth was confronted on the tarmac regarding this. Check this out.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence. We will open freedom of navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is exactly what we're doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
Why were those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nobody was texting war plans, and they are manufacturing this crisis. Here we have the cabinet meeting just a few hours ago where this was brought up right in front of President Trump. Listen.
In particular, I've never... Yes, Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves, making up lies about this president, whether it's the Russia hoax or making up lies about Gold Star families. And this one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room. But I'll tell you what, the world owes President Trump a favor. Under Biden, global shipping was shut down. Pinprick attacks, months between them, our destroyers being fired upon dozens of times. President Trump took decisive action with his national security team, took out the head missileer, knocked out missiles, knocked out headquarters, knocked out communication sites. And for once, as we hear, as you all hear from every one of our allies, thank God for American leadership again. Thank God for American strength. You're welcome, world. And look, we had a national security team that was coordinating these efforts. As Director Radcliffe testified today, his first day on the job, he was introduced to this app on his government systems at the CIA and at the State Department and otherwise. So, look, this journalist, Mr. President, wants the world talking about more hoaxes and this kind of nonsense rather than the freedom that you're enabling. And a key part of our sovereignty is open sea lanes and knocking the crap out of terrorists, which is exactly what your team and Pete Hegseth, a good friend and fellow veteran, is leading the charge on, and it's an honor. Yes, Mr. President, you asked about lessons.
Knocking it out of the park. That's what they're doing. Here's Caroline Levitt just deconstructing this guy. 10 hours ago, she posted this. As I said yesterday, the president continues to have confidence in his national security team, including Mike Waltz. Stories claiming otherwise are driven by anonymous sources who clearly do not speak to the president and written by reporters who are thirsty for a scoop. And she was quote tweeting Garrett Hake, who says, in a brief interview, POTUS tells me he shows confidence in Mike Walls. After the Atlantic Signal story yesterday, Mike Walls has learned a lesson. Now, she goes on to this. Jeffrey Goldberg, who is the reporter for the Atlantic, she says he's well known for his sensationalist spin, and here are the facts about his latest story. No war plans were discussed. No classified material was sent to the thread. The White House counsel's office provided guidance on a number of different platforms for President Trump's top officials to communicate as safely and efficiently as possible. As the National Security Council stated, the White House is looking into how Goldberg's number was inadvertently added to the thread. Thanks to the strong, decisive leadership of President Trump and everyone in the group, the Houthi strikes were successful and effective. Terrorists were killed, and that's what matters most to President Trump. So Caroline Levitt just deconstructing the narrative. Here is this post, the Signal chat and the Atlantic article. The minute I read the chat, my very first thought was that Goldberg was specifically and deliberately included so he would leak what he saw to the public. The idea was to let Europe know just how unhappy American leadership is. Well, that's an interesting angle. So these are some of the messages that were posted in the chat room. The president was clear. Green light, soon we make clear to Egypt and Europe what we expect to return. That's really an interesting angle, that he was purposefully added so that this would send a message. But of course, they're spinning it in the opposite direction. This is Congressman Michael Cloud saying the left's outrage over a Signal chat is astonishing. No U.S. casualties, no classified info, just targets targeted. They didn't have this level of concern when 13 Americans died because of Biden's botched Afghanistan withdrawal. Let's listen to his remarks on the House floor or in the committee.
But it was referred to in this committee as the largest intelligence failure in a century. Lloyd Austin didn't report for duty. He went AWOL for a couple of weeks. That was the issue. Now, it might have been because he had cancer, and that's tragic. But the fact was he went AWOL, and that's the reasons for the call.
It was less than 24 hours.
Excuse me, this is my time, sir. This is the hyperbole coming from the left is just amazing. In spite of the fact that my understanding, an operation was discussed. My understanding is that the operation has happened. Did anyone, was that operation successful? My understanding is it was. My understanding is that there were no U.S. casualties. This is very unlike Afghanistan, where we saw 13 people killed during a botched withdrawal. – Let's try to get back to some sensible sort of conversation, please.
Yeah. Not lies. Here's Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. Confirming zero classified information was disclosed. Another hoax. Debunked.
Was put out. Contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a skiff.
There was no classified material that was shared in that.
So then
signal
if there was no
check.
classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways. These are important jobs. This is our national security. Bobbing and weaving and trying to, filibuster your answer. So please answer the contact the defense secretary or others.
No classified material. Mark Wayne Mullen also confirming signal contained no classified information. For years, Hillary Clinton shared classified national security secrets from her personal email. Forget about apples to oranges. This is comparing apples to a steak.
Somewhat secured. I want to talk about this signal thing again with the Houthis. It's interesting to me that the Democrats are losing their loving mind over this. There was no classified information that was being shared over Signal. Signal is an encrypted app that's somewhat secured. Was the conversation something that could have happened or should have happened? I don't know, but at least it was a conversation. But to compare the two between Hillary Clinton and what President Trump's cabinet members were doing is absolutely absurd. It's not even comparing apples and oranges. At least both of those are somewhat in the same shape. This is like comparing an apple to a steak. There is no comparison at all between the two. Hillary Clinton was sending classified documents that were stamped TS or TSSCI. There was no classified documents. There was no classified information. It may have been sensitive, but it was an open conversation that was taking place over an important issue. And we should be glad that the conversation took place. You could see that people had input. It was thoughtful. It was collective. And at the end of the day, they did the right thing. They went right after this terrorist organization and shut them up. Thank God we have a president that's leading from strength. I want to talk about this signal thing again with the Houthis. It's interesting.
It's all fake news, folks. Total fake news, fabricated outrage. Harrison H. Smith, it's pretty much impossible to accidentally add someone to a Signal chat, by the way. It takes at least 4 actions. The only way it makes sense is that Waltz was trying to add Goldberg to a different chat, but messed up, but even that is not likely. So how do you add someone? Open a group chat, open the app on your phone and navigate to the group chat you want to add someone to. Go to the group settings, tap the group name at the top to access the group settings. Add members, look for add members, invite group. Exact wording might vary. Select contacts, choose the contacts you want to add from your list. Scroll through your contacts or search. Confirm after selecting the person, tap done, and the person will be added to the group. And existing members might receive a notification that a new member has joined. Okay, this sounds like it was like the other poster had stated, that they were intentionally added. President Trump told NBC this morning that it was one of Mike Wall's staffers who added Goldberg to the Signal chat. When asked what he was told about how Goldberg came to be added, Trump said it was one of Michael's people on the phone. A staffer had his number on there. The president has since expressed confidence in his team, saying he's not frustrated. Middle East Deputy Special Envoy Morgan Ortagus, the president has confidence in his national security team.
Foreign terrorist. What matters here is that the President of the United States has confidence in his national security team. This is a very experienced national security team. This is a team, again, that from day one, when you look at what was the President's day 2 action, and that was to reverse what the Biden administration did, which is to take the Houthis off of the foreign terrorist organization list, and the Trump administration, day 2, we put them back on. What did we immediately do in the first few weeks of the Trump administration? We put Iran on notice. We put Iran back in the max pressure economic campaign policy. So this is a team, listen, we were handed dumpsters on fire by the Biden administration. We have hot wars around the world. We have chaos that we inherited around the world. So what do we have to do? We had to come in and we had to restore global order. Part of restoring global order is taking on the Houthis, because we have allowed something, your audience should know, this is something that is unprecedented in modern history. After 9/11, we said that we would never allow a terrorist organization to do what the Biden administration allowed the Houthis to do, to shoot ballistic missiles and killer drones at our embassies, at our diplomats, at our sailors, at our ships, at commercial vessels. And so we are restoring deterrence in the Middle East. Our team is focused on that. Everything else is a distraction. What everybody should be focused on is, are we going after terrorists? Are we making sure that ISIS doesn't reemerge in Syria? Are we making sure that Hamas doesn't govern Gaza? Are we making sure that Hezbollah does not come back and try to terrorize Lebanon and try to terrorize Israel and America again? That is what this national security team is focused on. So everybody can spend their time talking about signal chats and texts. I'm focused on killing terrorists. Should what matter?
Wow. See how they're trying to redirect the conversation from the success of an operation to mishandling of information? Caitlin Collins, CNN's very own, after Secretary Hegseth argued nobody was texting war plans, the Atlantic Jeffrey Goldberg responds, it's a lie. He was texting war plans. He was texting attack plans. Here he is responding on CNN.
Published this and
Nobody was texting war plans. Given you were privy to this group chat, is that how you saw it?
No, that's a lie. He was texting war plans. He was texting attack plans. When targets were going to be targeted, how they were going to be targeted, who was at the targets, when the next sequence of attacks were happening. I didn't publish this, and I continue not to publish it because it felt like it was too confidential, too technical, and I worry, honestly, that sharing that kind of information in public could endanger American military personnel. But no, they were plans for the attack. And they were texted before the attack.
And there were things texted that you viewed as so sensitive, you did not even publish them in your report today.
I made the decision that the technical aspects of this, including what kinds of weapons packages, the attack sequencing, and so on, that's not necessarily in the public interest. What's in the public interest is that they were running a war plan on a messaging app and didn't even know who was invited into the conversation. I mean, it's an obvious, ridiculous security breach. And, you know, he if you notice, he didn't actually answer the question.
But his attempt at a denial also stood out to me because no one that I talked to at the White House today argued this or tried to say these were, you know, misconstrued or altered or this is not real. I mean, the National Security Council confirmed the veracity of it.
The National Security Council, I asked various officials, including Pete Hegseth this morning, for comment. And the first question I had for everyone is this real? I wanted to make sure, obviously, before we go public, and say, are you sure that this is not a disinformation campaign run by a foreign state, a non-state actor of some sort, trying to target a journalist for reasons I couldn't explain? And they're like, no, this is apparently a real channel, and I appreciate them telling the truth about that, and we publish.
Okay, and here let's keep going because the conversation continues. Gunter Eagleman, Scott Jennings of Kentucky just blew apart the narratives coming from the Atlantic hit piece published today and pointed out the facts. Listen.
All right, moments ago, Caitlin Collins was reporting on her show, Scott, that there is shock inside the White House that this chat was texted to Jeffrey Goldberg. Are you shocked?
Well, sure. I mean, it's a shocking thing, and you know they've admitted that it was a mistake and admitted that it's authentic, so they're owning up to it. I think they're still, based on what I've heard tonight, trying to figure out how it happened. I'm not sure the National Security Advisor Walls even knows Goldberg. In fact, I don't believe he knows him and has never met him. I did learn a few things in some of my conversations, if you're interested. One is that the Signal program was preloaded on a number of devices and agency computers in this circuit when they got there. So in their view, it was already in use. Number two, in some of the messages, they talk about needing to go to the high side computers, which is the classified system. So they clearly were knowing there was a line on what you could discuss in a chat like this versus classified system. Number three, there is a dispute over whether the term war plans is being exaggerated. And number four, look, I love the policy. It's well executed. You've got a thoughtful policy discussion going on. And we did what the Biden administration would not do, stop these people from harassing our shipping lanes and our boats and our Navy. So good on the Trump administration for reversing a bad policy.
So a wild triumph. And I will note that Pete Hegseth does not agree with you that it's all authentic. He went in and attacked Jeffrey Goldberg and said, all right.
Okay, let's keep going. My goodness, there's so much here. Senate Intel Committee Chair, Senator Tom Cotton, talking about how the Biden administration authorized Signal.
I bet a bunch of those.
Many people in the intelligence community use Signal. They have communication all the time. Is that not correct?
Lawrence, that is correct. In fact, I bet a bunch of those senators that you see at the hearing today are using Signal as well to
100%.
speak to each other or to speak to their aides. And it is my understanding that the Biden administration authorized Signal as a means of communication that was consistent with presidential record-keeping requirements for its administration, and that continued into the Trump administration. It's simply another messaging app like the iMessage app on your iPhone or email servers that every administration has set up in which senior administration officials can communicate with each other.
Many people in the
Yeah, it's pretty common. Let's see. Here is the CIA director.
As CIA, so that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was Signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of Signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
Okay, let's keep going. So we now know the CIA preloaded these things. Here we have more. Secretary Bennett.
For targeting.
I don't know if you use Signal messaging app.
I do. Not for classified information, not for targeting.
Well, neither
not
do I,
for anything
Senator.
remote.
Neither do I, Senator.
Well, that's what your testimony is today.
It absolutely is not, Senator. Were you not listening at the beginning?
No.
When I said that I was using it as permitted, it is permissible
I agree that's your testimony.
Yeah.
I agree that's your testimony. You asked me if I use it, and I said not for targeting, not for classified information.
And I said I don't either. I don't know if you use Signal message.
Okay. Here's more from the CIA director.
Sharing classified. Your question was, have I participated in any other group chats sharing classified information? To be clear, I haven't participated in any Signal group messaging that relates to any classified information at all.
Okay. Treasurer Gabbard.
Senator, I have the same answer. I have not participated in any Signal group chat or any other chat on another app that contained any classified information.
Wow. Dude, it just keeps going. They had a hearing on this. Everyone's now being forced to testify. Okay. Yeah. So this is all fake news, manufactured outrage. President Trump made it clear. They've all made it clear. So let's just recap what's actually happened here. Administration officials used an approved messaging platform that was installed on government devices during the Biden presidency. No classified information was shared. Of course, meanwhile, Hillary Clinton maintained a private email server with actual classified documents and faced zero consequences. Senator Mark Wayne Mullet, he put it perfectly. This is like comparing apples to a steak. The feigned outrage from Democrats who remained silent during 13 American deaths in Afghanistan is nothing short of repulsive. So here's the question Americans should be asking, and you guys can weigh in the comments. If the opposition has to manufacture fake scandals about messaging apps, doesn't that prove Trump's administration is actually succeeding? Support real journalism by heading over to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Grab a hat, grab a coffee mug, grab a shirt, and join the MAG Avengers at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. All right. Wow. Totally manufactured outrage. What is going on? What are you guys doing here? Okay, Jennifer's still on the leaderboard with 50. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. And then we had Sharon Johnson dropping $2. What's up, Sharon Johnson? Beverly Adams dropping 10. She's it's a super sticker, a pair character saying thank you. Deplorable Diva. Baltimore, Maryland, Fox News, child tragedy. Thank you. Okay, we'll have to look into that a little bit deeper. Maybe Todd, if you want to send me a message, I'm not sure what that's about, or maybe look into it. It's always sad when that happens. Okay, let's get into our next topic. And we have the DOGE. Okay. Here's a story the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. While they're obsessing over fake scandals, President Trump and Elon Musk just scored a massive victory against an activist judge trying to derail their government efficiency program. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals has halted Judge Chang's ruling that attempted to block DOGE's access to the USAID. This comes as Tesla reports Model Y inventory completely sold out in 33 states. Think about that. The same electric vehicle company that the left has been trying to destroy is so popular they can't keep cars on the lot. Meanwhile, Democrats are vandalizing Teslas owned by disabled Americans. This isn't just hypocrisy, it's desperation. And while Tesla sales are surging and Musk's influence grows stronger, have you wondered how people like Chuck Norris maintain their energy and strength at 84? Well, the secret might shock you. In a recent video, he revealed how he's still kicking butt and staying active in his 80s with more energy than people half his age by focusing on 3 specific factors that sabotage our bodies as we age. His wife tried the same approach. She feels 10 years younger, leaner body, all-day energy. So don't let age hold you back from Tesla-like performance. Discover Chuck Norris's method at chuckdefense.com/next today. It's linked down below. And we thank you, Chuck, for sponsoring the Next News Network. So let's jump into it. We've got this from Paul Zapula posting that Speaker Johnson says Congress can and will defund and shut down federal district courts that are obstructing President Trump. He says, stay tuned.
An entire district.
House Speaker Mike Johnson issuing an open threat now, saying that Congress has authority to stop providing funding to federal courts. Listen to what the Speaker said just a little while ago.
We do have authority over the federal courts, as you know. We can eliminate an entire district court. We have power funding over the courts and all these other things. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and Congress is going to act. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned, baby. We're going to be stay tuned for sure. Oh, check this out. This happened in the cabinet meeting. A reporter asking, would you be interested in defunding and taking away taxpayer dollars to NPR and PBS? Let's listen to the president's response.
Tomorrow, the subcommittee on DOGE is going to review funding for NPR and PBS. Now, every Republican president has always promised to take away this money that's going to these 2 public news outlets. If they're successful, I know Senator Kennedy has backed it, Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress has backed it. Would you be interested in defunding and taking away taxpayer dollars to NPR and PBS?
Well, I would love to do that. I think it's very unfair. It's been very biased with a whole group. I mean, a whole group of them. And frankly, there's plenty. Look at all the media you have right now. There's plenty of coverage. I was from a different age, and they spend more money than any other network of its type ever conceived. So the kind of money that's being wasted, and it's a very biased view. You know that better than anybody. And I'd be honored to see it end. We're well covered. Look at all the people that we have here today. We're well covered, and we don't need it. And it's a waste of money. Especially, I don't even know what DOGE's recommendation is. I assume their recommendation is to close them up.
Well, after they hear all the testimony, I think they're going to make a decision relatively sooner than later.
Yeah.
But we'll see what that turns out.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't, because they have found so much waste, fraud, and abuse.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, shut them down. NPR, PBS. Yeah. No more government funding. Let them fund themselves. Robert the Builder says, idea, maybe it's time for DOGE to look into this. What's going on here?
We learned two things about Kamala this election. She's good at raising money and she's good at blowing it. But money can't buy you elections, especially when you spend it like she did. She raked in more than $1 billion and is somehow now in debt. The Washington Examiner dug through her financial statements and gave us a good clue why. Kamala's campaign was getting whacked like a piñata, while D.C. leeches hoovered up all the cash.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that DOGE has the authority to look into individual campaign expenditures, but we all know what happened with Kamala Harris, right? And here we go. Buckle up. 5 hours ago, Trump just called on Congress to codify the DOGE cuts and his executive orders. This is what needs to happen. And Gunther is calling on Speaker Johnson and Leader John Thune to publicly announce their plans to get it codified, baby.
Which have been very, and we will look into it, yeah.
Mr. President, some senators have expressed hope that the White House will support a rescission package to codify some of the DOGE cuts into law. Where does the White House stand on that? And are you making progress on that?
Which package?
A rescission package to codify some of the DOGE cuts into law.
It will be great. I think we're going to do that. I think they're going to do it. I think we're also going to be codifying a lot of the executive orders that we've done, which have been very popular. And we're looking at one, I will tell you right now, that I think perhaps will be controversial, but not with the people, and that's sanctuary cities. We're going to end sanctuary cities for some of these jurisdictions that aren't cooperating with law enforcement. They're guarding criminals. They're taking the rights away from the citizens of this state and their city. And we're going to be ending sanctuary cities if we find it necessary to do in certain major areas, and we may just end the entire thing altogether because it's just a way of protecting criminals, and nobody else is benefited by that. And for some reason, Democrats want to keep and they want to shield criminals from being sent back to their countries or being sent to prison. And in the meantime, the crime rate has gone through the roof. Under Biden, it was through the roof. It's starting to come down, but we're taking a lot of people out of here. So we may be presenting you very shortly with a executive order ending sanctuary cities.
Mr. President, are you going to change?
Let's go. Let's go, baby. As of today, Sawyer Merritt reports Tesla Model Y inventory is sold out in Washington and Oregon. This means there's now no Model Y inventory left in 33 U.S. states. More on that. No Model Ys in 33 states. Model Y inventory is now completely sold out. Demand is through the roof. President Trump, this from Nick Sortor. Trump and Elon Musk, DOGE scored a win over the activist judge who tried to force them to reinstate USAID. The Fourth Circuit Court halted activist Judge Chang's order, which required DOGE access to much of USAID be suspended. The expanded ruling could come later this week, but as of now, the appeals court is pumping the brakes on his BS ruling. Bye-bye. That's good news. They cried DOGE is taking Social Security away and education money from programs. Then the left rallies and pays people to destroy people's Teslas that are in programs they're claiming being cut. Appeals court judge halting Judge Chang's USAID ruling against Trump. A major victory for Donald Trump. Now, if Democrats had won, DOGE designer says they would have made voter ID illegal across all states. This would have been the last real election. Trump and Elon Musk literally saved America from becoming a one-party deep blue state. And here we have RFK Jr. We haven't heard much from him lately. Glad to hear him now. He says Elon Musk and DOGE are now inside the Department of HHS, exposing and eliminating waste and fraud. Let's listen.
Administration went up. I'm very grateful to you and very grateful for the partnership with DOGE, with Elon. We've identified extraordinary waste in my department and HHS. The expenditures, the budget of HHS during the Biden administration went up by 38%. The employees went up by 17%, and healthcare went down. We have 40 comms departments. We have 40 procurement departments. We have 40 IT departments, and we have 40 procurement, HR, none of them talking to each other. We are, with Elon's help, eliminating the redundancies. We are streamlining our department. We're going to go back to providing gold standard science. We're going to get the money to the scientists and to the patients rather than to the administrators and to the bureaucrats. And we're going to restore gold standard science, and we're going to make America healthy again. Thank you.
Make America healthy again, baby. That's what we need to do. And they're doing it. Juanita Broderick posting this earlier today. Okay. How do these idiots not know by now that Teslas have cameras in the Sentry mode? This guy got busted cold after he, right there, you can see it. He's telling the cops he didn't do anything. Let's roll it back a little bit. He gets out of his car.
You know what happened? No. Okay. Can I see some ID, please? Yeah. You as well, sir.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right there. Caught on camera.
So, you want to talk about what happened here? No. Okay. I don't know what happened. You didn't see that Tesla? No. Okay. Well, we have one. Okay. Okay.
Did you key that Tesla? Do you want to talk about it? No. Well, we have you on camera, sir. Oh, yeah. His body language says it all. That's the moment he just shit his pants. Here's more on that. Our Tesla Cybertruck was vandalized this weekend in New Hampshire. While staying at our hotel, our vehicle was keyed within an hour of arriving. James Jim Pellis and Chuck Smith either didn't know or didn't care that they were being recorded. Charges pending. Class A felony in New Hampshire. The owner of a Tesla that was vandalized in Wichita, Kansas, is a wheelchair-bound individual, disabled woman who is now stuck with thousands of dollars worth of damage to repair. Democrats did this to a disabled woman. Oh my, here's the news report.
Her family were seized. Now she says she feels targeted.
Damaging a personal vehicle does not affect Elon. If anything, it's giving him more money to fix the vehicle that you damaged. It's not damaging who you're thinking it is.
Just before 6 p.m. on Thursday, Abigail Gill and her family were seated for dinner at Olive Garden. Over an hour later, they left, and what they found waiting for them was shocking.
Quite a lot of damage. He keyed this side as well, which, as you can see, this side, it even looks like it affected above the tire. This is a lot more damage.
This comes less than a week after a possible arson at a Tesla dealership in Kansas City. Gill believes her brand new Tesla was targeted because of the current political climate and perception of Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
But it felt really disappointing that this is happening in such a great country, a great state. So for this to be happening in Kansas, of all places, is super shocking.
She says her family has had discussions around if it's even safe to be driving a Tesla anymore, in part because of incidents like hers. If she could send a message to the man who keyed her car, it's this.
You have put a very big crisis on me because physically I am in a wheelchair. I just hope that he definitely gets the correct punishment. I hope he pays all of the damages. It is well over $1,000, possibly over $10,000 of damage. I hope that the Wichita police continue to find him.
Unreal.
Gill tells me she can't.
Unreal. See, they think they're hurting Tesla. Remember the report we did yesterday? Elon Musk only owns 12% of Tesla. So he's not actually getting affected. It's everyday people. Pam Bondi now declaring, under President Trump's directive, we're actively pursuing the death penalty for violent crimes, talking about law and order.
Force now. We are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse. A lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have 94 great U.S. attorneys around this country, and everyone will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Start with Hunter Biden. Okay, let's keep going. We got more to get to. Party's not over yet. DOGE protesters don't even know why they're protesting.
Specific things.
Cuts. What's been cut?
I would rather not speak to any specific things.
Let me think.
What's been cut? Way too much.
The entire work of the CFPB has been stopped.
Big fan of Bill Clinton?
I think we're getting off topic here.
What's he got to do with this?
Well,
So that's where we're at, folks. The message couldn't be clearer. While leftist activists are literally attacking the vehicles of disabled Americans, the free market is voting with its wallet. 33 states with zero Tesla inventory tells you everything you need to know about what regular Americans actually want. And the Fourth Circuit's decision proves the judicial resistance to America First policies is starting to crumble. As RFK Jr. revealed, Musk and DOGE are exposing massive fraud in government spending, which explains why the establishment is terrified. So here's the question that should keep Democrats up at night. You can weigh in the comments. If their ideas are so popular, why are they vandalizing cars instead of winning elections? Show your support for American innovation by going to our website, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, link below. Support the MAG Avengers. Join the crew with a hat or a shirt or a mug. All right. What was that? Wait a second. Oh, okay. Sorry. Tom B420 dropping $10. What's up? Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into our next topic of the evening. Where are we at here? Oh, okay. I think this is where we're at now. Okay. National security. Okay, let's go. The numbers don't lie, and they're absolutely staggering. Under President Trump's leadership, illegal border crossings have plummeted by an astonishing 96%. This isn't a typo. It's not an exaggeration. It's the cold, hard truth that the Biden administration spent years insisting was impossible. Border czar Tom Homan has transformed what was a complete chaotic mess into an organized, effective system that puts American security first. But make no mistake, activist judges are fighting tooth and nail to sabotage this success. They're issuing rulings from the bench that have nothing to do with law and everything to do with politics. Just yesterday, one judge had the audacity to compare deporting violent gang members to Nazi Germany. These aren't jurists, they're political operatives. So as we fight to secure our borders against illegal intrusion, many Americans are fighting another battle at home, chronic pain and inflammation, breaking through their body's defenses. Like President Trump's border strategy, Dr. Josh's turmeric hack attacks the problem at its source. This powerful extract is 200 times more potent than regular turmeric, acting like a border patrol for your pain, stopping it cold. After helping hundreds of thousands break free from constant aches and stiffness over 20 years, Dr. Josh's approach turns off pain like a switch. No expensive surgeries, no ineffective medications needed. Secure your body's borders against pain at goldenrevive.com/NNN. It's linked down below. Let's jump into this. This is going to make you cheer, folks. The Trump administration just blew the lid off of Biden's fake deportation stats. 44,000 arrests inside America. Real criminals like killers, predators, and traffickers. Biden counted border bounces. Trump's ICE is cleaning up house. Here he is earlier today at a press gaggle at the White House.
Compare the... How you doing? A couple, I'm on my way to a meeting.
Since you came back into the White House, do you use Signal or any other encrypted apps to communicate with administration officials?
I got no comment on that.
Sir, are you concerned that the English language social media posts pushing immigrants to use the CBP Home app aren't reaching a predominantly Spanish language speaking population?
Working on that right now.
What do you mean you're working on it?
You're going to see more Spanish language notices going out.
Okay. At the rate you're going, what do you think your deportation target number is going to be for the year?
I have no idea. It depends what kind of money we have. We need Congress to fund this mandate for the American people, because with more money we can do more. We need to buy more beds, we need more airplane flights, we need more officers on the ground, we need more contracts with companies that can do a lot of work that doesn't require a badge and gun. So the more money we have from Congress, the more successful we'll be on the ground.
What's your estimate on how many people have been self-deported so far?
Actually, hopefully we'll have that number by Friday. We asked for that number yesterday. I'm waiting on it. I looked at the numbers this morning. As far as interior arrests, we're at about 44,000, just shy of 44,000 arrests in the interior, which are by far more than the Biden administration did in the interior. And let me address one thing. I keep reading this. We're deporting less people than Joe Biden. Let's remember, Joe Biden was counting Border Patrol removals on the border, where millions of people are coming across. You can't compare our removal numbers to them. First of all, he was fudging numbers, adding border removals to ICE removals. And second of all, you got millions of people crossing the border, and Border Patrol were bouncing some of them back. We secured the border. We're down border crossing 96%, so we don't have millions of people coming across the border. To compare our removal numbers to his is just ridiculous. We could remove 100% of our people, and he can remove 10% of his people, and the number's still going to be higher because we're talking about millions of people coming across. The question that people should be asking, how many did the Trump administration release compared to the Biden administration? We're at about 0, and they're at millions, so that's the difference. And so I'm reading the story about deportation numbers are lower than Biden. It's fake news. It's not comparing apples to apples. Compare the interior enforcement arrests, interior enforcement removals to the last administration. There we see the real difference.
Do you expect IRS to begin sharing data on potential, undocumented migrants in this country?
Well, I'll tell you this: illegal aliens use American Social Security numbers. Together with identity theft, we're looking to protect Social Security. We're looking out to protect United States citizens' identity and their benefits with Social Security. I've done this for a long time. Illegal aliens many times use Social Security numbers, U.S. citizens. It causes a lot of problems. Just identity theft. Even my own family. One of my closest relatives had his ID stolen, his Social Security number stolen. So we're going to look out for the American people. We're going to protect Social Security.
But do you expect them to share? Do you expect IRS to share?
I hope so. I think again, to protect American citizens, their Social Security benefits, protect their identity from being stolen. That's one way we can do it.
What would you say to families of some of the individuals deported who say that they do not have affiliations to gangs, to TDA? Are you going to provide more details about?
Look, I I'm not aware. I didn't drill into every one of on that plane. We left it up to ICE. The highest officials at ICE have said that they are confident that every one of the events and women's on those planes remember TDA. And everybody's, how do you know? Look, a lot of this stuff is law enforcement sensitive. I'm not going to share a lot of this stuff with you because we certainly don't want to show how we do our inside work, because that's going to just help the criminals out there once they read it. But I can tell you hundreds and hundreds of hours were spent on investigations, whether it's looking at their criminal history, whether it's looking at immigration history, whether looking at undercover videos, whether it's talking to informants, whether it's talking to other members of the gang who gave sworn statements. There's a lot of ways that this was done. A lot of time was spent doing this. Again, and I got assurances from the highest levels of ICE that this was done right, and everybody in that plane, Venezuelans were TDAs. And I got to remember, first of all, let's remember one thing. First of all, everyone on that plane was illegal alien in the country. Number two, many of that plane were removed through Title VIII. They already had to remove from an immigration judge. And again, we're talking about terrorists. TDA and MS-13 was on the plane. They've been designated terrorist organizations. These are not good people.
They're not good people. Here we have more President Trump talking about national security. We have an amazing group. Our national security is stronger than it's ever been.
Security now, it's a question I've been asked now, and I've given a few answers, and they've all been the same. We have an amazing group. Our national security now is stronger than it's ever been. We have had a very, very successful, numerous attacks on that area. These are people that shoot down ships, not only our ships, ships all over the world they're shooting down right out of the water and damaging them badly, or they're going down. They're also shooting anything that happens to be flying in the area. We hit them very, very hard.
Hitting them hard, that's how you do it. Here we have more from the president and from the cabinet meeting. Here's National Security Advisor Mike Waltz.
We're going to keep everything. We have our technical experts looking at it. We have our legal teams looking at it. And of course, we're going to keep everything as secure as possible. No one in your national security team would ever put anyone in danger. And as you said, and we've repeatedly said, the attack was phenomenal and it's ongoing. But the media wants to talk about everything else except for the hostages you're getting out of the Middle East, Iran on its back foot, sea lanes getting reopened, peace in Europe. As we just saw today with a Black Sea ceasefire, we were just on with Steve Witkoff, myself, our team in Saudi Arabia. They want to talk about all this other stuff except for your amazing successes and the successes of your team.
And let's continue. We have more. I'm not an attorney, Tom Owen says, but I know how to read.
Look, I'm not an attorney, but I know how to read. I know the Alien Enemies Act says, and that's what we did. President Trump, through proclamation, put the Alien Enemy Act in play, and that's a law that was enacted by Congress and signed by a president. He invoked his authorities under the AEA, and what we did was, following the AEA, we removed not only national security threats, terrorists. Everybody in that plane was Trenda Agua or MS-13, which have been designated terrorist organizations. So we removed them. When they talk about due process, I said it this weekend, what due process did Lake and Riley get? Yeah. What due process did all these little girls who got murdered and raped, what due process did they get? What due process of the young lady who was burned alive on a subway? What due process did she get? I mean, bottom line is we follow the statute of the AEA, and we're going to continue to arrest public safety threats. Now, we may be holding on more arrests on the removals on the Alien Enemies Act, but it's not going to stop us to keep arresting TDA members, taking them off the street. And we're going to continue doing that. We're going to
Let's keep going. Oh, yeah. Round them all up. We're going to keep arresting TDA members. That's what he said on Fox Business. Ilhan Omar says it's silly that she's facing criticism for instructing criminal immigrants on how to evade.
You know, Elon and I.
Is that valid criticism to not be telling people how to avoid immigration authorities?
It is nonsense. It's silly. And, you know, Elon and I both are immigrants in this country, and it looks like one of us has bothered to learn the laws of the land. It is completely within the constitutional rights of people to have rights regardless of what their status is. We have due process. We have checks and balances.
Is that valid criticism to...
We have checks and balances. Okay. Here we have more on President Tom Homan saying we are keeping the president's promises.
Working on it. But look, we're keeping President Trump's promise. President Trump has promised we're going to secure the border, which we've done to a large extent. We're still working on it. But we're at 96% decline on the border. And he promised we're going to prioritize public safety threats and national security threats, illegal aliens in this country. And that's what we're doing. Look,
and that is what we are doing. Holy cow, there is so much going on. Wow. Here is FBI Director Kash Patel highlighting the success of the FBI going after crime.
Security. The priorities at the FBI, which I identified during my confirmation hearing and since, is attacking violent crime along with national security. And every single state in this country is a border state. Arkansas is no exception. Allow me to highlight the work of the men and women in the FBI and state and local law enforcement in the state of Arkansas. Since February 5th alone, we've had 220 illegal immigrants arrested on charges varying from violent offenses, weapons offenses, narcotics offenses, and serious violent felonies. 253 separate individuals have been charged related to those offenses. And here's something I want the American people to hear about narcotics and countering narcotics. Thousands of pounds of narcotics were seized in these 3 weeks in the state of Arkansas. Thousands, worth tens of millions of dollars. Everything from fentanyl to meth to cocaine to heroin to marijuana and more. And also including manufactured drugs. The FBI does have the biggest footprint in Arkansas, but we could not achieve this mission without our state and local law enforcement partners, which has been one of the priorities since I took the helm at the FBI. They provide the greatest ground level intelligence to conduct these operations in Arkansas and in every single state across the union. Since February 5th, we've assisted with the arrest of hundreds of criminals and illegals throughout your state, and that was just a 3-week operation. Prior to that, Senator, there was a bust of 17 federal indictments relating to a meth lab in the state of Arkansas in the southwest corner of your state. All of those individuals are now facing prosecution for hundreds of pounds of illegal opioids, guns, and other illicit material. So we will continue to do that work. We will work it 6-7 days a week, 365 days a year, not just in your state, Mr. Chairman, but in every state.
So despite constant obstruction from activist judges, the Trump administration has achieved something remarkable. The most secure border in modern American history. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed they've arrested 220 illegal immigrants on various charges. Tren de Aragua MS-13 members are being deported. Americans are finally being prioritized for public housing instead of illegal aliens. The Ninth Circuit's ruling upholding Trump's pause on refugee admissions represents a critical legal victory for sovereignty. So here's the ultimate question. If Trump secured the border this effectively in just 65 days, why did previous administrations claim for decades that it couldn't be done? Support strong borders with our Next News gear available in the merch shop, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Okay, we got some work to do here. And going to do it live. Okay. Let's bring this back up here. And we're going to go back to here and here. And here. Need to return a phone call. Just got a phone call from the mayor of Bolingbrook, Mayor Mary Basha. And she says that there's some errors in my reporting. So we're going to just give her a call back and try to clear this up.
Hello?
Hi, this is Gary Franchi returning your call. We're actually live right now. I wanted to let you know that. I saw your message about an error in our reporting, so I just wanted to kind of clear the air and hear your response to the charges that were filed and why felony charges were not pursued for a hit and run.
Well, I don't know about the police portion. I know that the accident was reported, and according to the laws and the rules and the regulations, they were all followed. But I think the part that I wanted to clarify for you especially, and I don't know if you followed our politics, but myself and Administrator Trenier, Will County Board Member Trenier, actually ran for the same mayoral position. So there's more of a rivalry, if you will, than there is a friendship. This was followed, the rules of the laws was filed. The state's attorneys, was also spoken to about this to see what needs to be done. Actually, she was treated no differently than anyone else, and to have done anything differently would have been to treat her differently than any other person.
Now, she was cited for failure to yield, but she did leave the scene of a hit and run, and a child was involved. So I'm just curious, who made the call to basically bring that charge of failure to yield and not, fleeing the scene of a hit and run?
Again, she came in, and it was a self-reporting, as you saw on the police report. I think everything was there. So again, checking with the law, it followed the procedures that needed to be taken. And that's just the way it is in Will County. I can't speak too much to that because, again, one, it's an open case.
Sure.
But two, I am not versed in the law and why they allow things and why they don't allow things. Obviously, that our state, with all the safeties and everything else, has changed over the recent year. But state's attorney was notified. This is what we got approved with. And she followed the letter of the law, and there's no conspiracy theory as was indicated, but I found it particularly just wanted to make sure that you understood, because it looks like you did do your due diligence, and I just wanted to provide that clarification that there's no friendship, there's no cover-up, because of and I hate to use that word rivalry. We were obviously two people running for the same position.
I understand. Now, with respect to the notification process, if a public official is involved in something that, people are outraged by this. It's obviously going viral across the web, and we're getting lots of different reactions from people, but what's the notification process? Were you made aware that she was involved in this? When did you become aware of this?
Well, again, our police department followed letter of the law of where she did self-report, and there is a particular time frame that is given for you to be able to go to the closest police station and report an accident. And that is what I'm told that happened and took place within minutes of this occurring.
Okay, but did you get a phone call or anything that she was involved in this accident?
I did not right away get a call, but I was informed of it shortly thereafter. Yes.
Like the same day or within an hour, 30 minutes?
The same day. I to be honest with you, it could have been like within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in our debrief of the morning.
And what was your initial reaction when you found out?
That's a good question. As a person, You know, I was disheartened, to be honest with you. But again, as you know, following the letter of the law, understanding that it was followed, and I let due process take its course.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to call me and to clear the air and answer my questions. I sincerely respect that. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you returning the call. And again, you know, the key thing was to, I just wanted to make sure that, because I did look at your site, that I know that you are researching for clarity, and I appreciated that, and I wanted to provide that clarity, that absolutely no intent of any kind of cover-up. As a matter of fact, it's more just trying to be transparent and treating it like everyone else, and not overly doing anything, because then it would be perceived as political rivalry, which it is not.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure that we make a note on our thread and any of our reporting that we had the conversation. And again, I thank you for taking the time to reach out and clarifying.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. There you have it. Now you know their side of the story. All right. Let's go. Okay. Brian, I need to get that cut right away. I think you have the ability to do that with this new software that they have built in. I need to add that to the X post immediately. Immediately. Can you do that for me, Brian? Boom, baby. Boom. That's my boy Brian right there. Ha ha. Getting it done. God bless America. Wasn't that so? You guys saw me. I'm live, and I'm like, I see like my phone like go off in the middle of the report, and I'm like, what is that? And I look, and I see the message come through. I see the transcript of the message. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So, all right, that was fun. Okay, let's check in with Super Chats real quick if there's anything else going on. Craig, thanks, Gary. Love seeing real journalists again. Breath of fresh air. Boom. Boom, baby. All right. Okay. I want to check in on the main feeds real quick. Excuse me. I want to check in on like this post. It's like it hit a million views. Okay, you know, I don't know where that should be edited into the story. Let's see. Maybe, okay, so if we take a look at the actual thread itself, I think, okay, are you looking at the screen, Brian? Okay, so there's a point where I bring her up, and it's right here, Insider's Report, the mayor actively covering up the crime. Democrats circle the wagon while kids remain vulnerable. It's a crime syndicate in action. It might fit right good there. Like right after I bring up this post, you could insert it there, but I do need it. I need the clip. You know, it's probably short enough you could send it to me on Discord in private message. What the actual the clip itself? Okay, let me look at it. Uh-huh. You only clip with her response. Tom says, Tom, should I call you live, Tom? Context, you have the only clip. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay, let's oh, okay, well, Tom wants to talk about it. Okay, Tom, you're live on the Next News Network.
Yeah, I heard you say it, so I figured I'd give a quick call in. What's going on? That we did wonderful. That article definitely was covered very well. It's pretty sad that there's a dual system of justice, and I mean, Democrats get treated differently. It's a Democrat state's attorney, Jim Glasgow, out there. There's I believe the police chief is Democrat. Jackie Trenier was like a ground soldier for the Democrat Party for 20 years. So they all love her. She raised tons of money for Jim Glasgow, a couple state senators, a couple state reps in the area. So when she hits a kid on a bike, so like she gets out of the vehicle, they confirm that the woman Jackie saw the kid on the hood of the car. And if you're looking at the picture, you can see where the handlebars scratch it, but a little bit higher is like where the kid's head and hands landed. And according to police, they had small fingerprints. So she knew she hit a child, sees she hit a kid, gets out, she flees the scene of the crime, which is, again, almost a mandatory felony in the state of Illinois if it's involving a minor. According to somebody I heard that from, I could be completely wrong, I'm not an attorney. And then so she leaves. She goes and reports to the police station. She files a false police report by saying that she lied, that she didn't know she hit a kid when it was discovered by witnesses that she absolutely hit the child, and then fled the scene of the crime. So she filed a false police report, which is, I would assume, a pretty bad misdemeanor. Who knows? Plus numerous other things. So they found out she lied, she fled, and then they charged her with failure to yield, which is a ticket offense. I think it's like a $75 fine, no oversights.
Okay, but Tom,
yeah.
The mayor just said that her reasoning behind this, the fact that she's not part of any cover-up, is that they were in fact rivals at one point. I don't think that holds any water, personally. Just because they're political rivals going after the same seat doesn't mean anything.
So I've known Mary for a few years, as you know. We're close, considered friends, maybe. The mayor is like the CEO of the city. She runs the police department through the police chief and different administrators. But when something of that magnitude happens, or there's a crisis event, she's in the command room with the headphones on, working with the police, trying to figure out the active situation, giving orders through recommendations. So given her involvement with the police department, and then, State's Attorney Jim Glasgow is a good friend of hers as well. And a lot of people know each other out there. It's a very close-knit community, especially the higher up in the Democrat Party. So when one of their top workers gets hit and all these things happen, including the chief, of course, she's going to know relatively quick. She's going to be aware of what's going on. And with her relationship and being in control of the police department, along with other influences like Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant, the county executive, another big supporter out there, to say that these people didn't know that there could be escalating charges from that and then knock it down to failure to yield, that takes a lot of people to be in charge of making something of that magnitude, especially when dealing with an elected official, knowing it's going to come under scrutiny. So the fact that she could say she didn't know anything about it, but I'm sure there was a lot of conversations regarding that subject and around it to say that there was ignorance of, there could have been more to it.
Okay.
I didn't mean to go on a long-winded rant, but it's a complex issue involving a lot of stuff, but it's a dual system of justice, and Democrats are covering up for their own, period. That's corruption.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Our White House correspondent, Tom McCullough, calling in with the local hit right here in the state of Illinois. Tom, thank you.
Thank you, brother. All right, good night, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so, Brian, I need to get that from you. How do we get this? I'm looking at the account. Call. Okay. Let me just review it real quick. Oh, I see. Okay. You know what? I think I could download it, Brian, here. And I could trim it up if it's full res at the moment. Okay, just a second. So this is what happens, guys. This is how we do it. We just pull the video, make the clip, cut it. You know, this is how it all happens in real time. And I think it's funny though that we had the mayor actually calling. How cool is that? Why is this doing this? Come on. There we go. That's so strange. Okay, we'll try it this way. Okay. Downloading it now. And April Hudson cheering us on with a character holding their head in their hands saying, incredible. Yeah, incredible. Incredible indeed. Okay, so what I do, and this is very much like similar to what I do when I'm at the White House, record, take the clip, throw it right into an editor on my phone. Boom, boom. Find my in cuts, my in points, and my out points. Let's see here. Okay. And here. Normalize the volume. Need to return a phone call. Just got a phone call. Just got a phone call. Need to return a phone call. Just got a phone. Yeah, it gets a little annoying because you keep hearing yourself over and over again, but that's the way it is. Just got a phone call. A little bit further back. And here. Need to return a phone call. Clip that, trim left, go to the end. And let's see where it's looking like now.
The call, and again, you know, the key thing was to, I just wanted to make sure that, because I did look at your site, that I know that you were researching for clarity, and I appreciated that, and I wanted to provide that clarity, that absolutely no intent of any kind of cover-up. As a matter of fact, it's more just trying to be transparent and treating it like everyone else and not overly doing anything, because then it would be perceived as political rivalry, which it is not.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure that we make a note on our thread and any of our reporting that we had the conversation. And again, I thank you for taking the time to reach out and clarifying.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, there you have it. Now you know their side of the story. Okay, let's go, and we're going to export that. We'll do that in 720 because it's going up. Damn, it's like, holy cow, that's huge. 700 megs? Wow. Okay. I love the Superman girl. That's so funny. That's so funny. Miss Howdy Ho. I love it. Okay. Well, exciting news day, wouldn't you say, guys? As you can tell, I've got some news I've got to continue, but that's our show for tonight, and what a show it's been. We've covered an extraordinary range of developments that the corporate media won't touch with a 10-foot pole. We start with President Trump's patriotic shockwaves reverberating through Washington. The declassification of Crossfire Hurricane files promises to expose the corrupt deep state that tried to destroy his presidency. Secretary Burgum's plan to repurpose federal land for affordable housing will help hardworking Americans find homes they can actually afford. And with Hyundai investing $20 billion in American manufacturing, it's clear the Trump economic revolution is just getting started. Then we expose the shocking Democrat hit-and-run scandal in Illinois. Will County board member Jackie Trenier struck a child in a crosswalk and fled the scene, yet faces only minor traffic tickets, and even got a phone call from the mayor of Bolingbrook. Because people believe there is a massive cover-up in play. It's not just corruption. It's a two-tier justice system that treats political elites differently from everyday Americans, even though she claims otherwise. We dismantle the fake Signal chat controversy Democrats and their media allies tried to manufacture into a scandal. Both the CIA director and DNI Tulsi Gabbard confirmed under oath zero classified information was shared. This non-story is just another desperate attempt to distract from Trump's successes. We celebrated the tremendous victory that Trump and Elon Musk scored against an activist judge trying to block DOGE's government efficiency program, while Tesla's Model Y inventory sold out across 3 states. The free market speaking loud and clear, even as leftist activists vandalize the vehicles of disabled Americans. And finally, we marveled the 96% reduction in illegal border crossings under President Trump and border czar Tom Homan, despite constant obstructions from rogue judges trying to undermine American sovereignty. And none of this would be possible without your support. The mainstream media won't cover these stories. Big tech tries to suppress our reach, and the political establishment wants to silence voices like ours, and that's why we need your support and your donations to keep the show going. Visit the links in the description to contribute whatever you can. Every dollar makes a difference in this fight for truth. Tell a friend about the Raw feed. Text them a link to our stream right now. Share our videos. Be the media they won't let us have. And a special thank you to everyone who sent in Super Chats and Rumble Rants tonight. Your questions, your comments make me laugh. And of course, they are the backbone of the show. Before you go, don't forget to visit the merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com for exclusive limited edition Next News swag. Show the world where you get your real news. This is Gary Franchi for the Raw feed. We will see you tomorrow as we continue to bring you the stories they don't want you to hear. God bless you, and God bless America.